Newspapers in Finland were the first to report this story as an actual event. From there, it has spread around the world. Engineers working on the Kola Peninsula in Siberia were drilling a well, searching for oil or natural gas. In addition, they found a rare geological formations and even gold. Eager to discover what else in the well would yield, they kept drilling. For more than a year, the well was about 1,800 miles deep. Then one day, the drill bit suddenly began to rotate wildly. The geologists and the engineers felt a blast of searing rain heat gush out of the hole, and they thought they had heard faint sounds emanating from the well. They had raised the drill and lowered the temperature gauges to measure the heat at the bottom of the hold. It registered over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. "We've penetrated the molten center of the Earth," the geologist said. "But that doesn't account for the sounds," one of his colleagues answered back. So they lowered highly sensitive microphones down the holdup. Up from the well came the sounds of agonizing screams. "We haven't penetrated the Earth's core," the geologist said. "We've entered the gates of hell." Now, I'm not much of a writer. Keeping memoirs was never something I used to, but I will try my best to make this look neat and polished. First, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is William Christopherson, and I am a scuba diver, or rather I used to be a scuba diver. I work for an underwater research, taking pictures beneath the ocean surface and gathering various specimens of fish for studying. I had been doing this crap for 15 years while playing alimony for my kids. One day, I got up early for another ordinary dive into the ocean. None of us knew what was going to happen that day. We all thought it would be just like any other dive. I got on the boat with the rest of my buddies, and we sailed quite a ways away out there into the ocean. When all of us divers went into the water, about 200 or so feet deep. Nothing unusual, just do the job, come up, dive again, do the job, come up, and then so on and so forth until quitting time. Well, before the second or third dive, we went a little ways out further on the boat, about 30 leagues west of our present location. I and the other guys dove in, thinking it was just another dive. I got separated from the rest of the group while underwater. Normally that shouldn't happen. One of the rules of scuba diving is to stick together. Just out of curiosity, I decided to check out this underwater cave that sat way at the bottom. It was dark, really dark and deep. I had my flashlight with me, so it wasn't too bad. But the darkness was something else, surreal in a way. It was as if you could feel it. That's how frickin' dark it was. I hadn't been in that cave 10 minutes when suddenly I heard horrific screaming coming up from up ahead. I honestly can't describe the terrifying sounds I heard, except they were human voices, screaming at top of their lungs, as if they were in lots of pain. At the same time, the water had gone warmer, not by much, but enough to detect the difference in the temperature. But those screams made my flesh shiver with absolute horror. I don't even remember having been that scared before. I swear to God there were hundreds, maybe millions of screams coming from that cave, men and women and maybe some children. I was so freaked out at those shrieking voices that I couldn't stand it. I rushed to get out of the cave, swimming as fast as I could, not looking back. I was breathing heavily, something that wasn't safe to do with my underwater scuba diving. I got up onto the boat safely, shaking like a leaf. My buddies and the other guys aboard couldn't understand what was wrong with me, and I didn't tell them what happened until a few days later. No one believed me. They thought I was frickin' crazy. I don't know what happened to what those screams were, but I knew they were there. I heard them with my own ears. A few people I've told this story say that I heard screams from hell itself. At first I thought them insane, but now I'm beginning to believe them. My friends think I'm insane and they don't believe a word of my experience. I quit my scuba diving job and took up employment at a hardware store somewhere else in town. I would have sworn to myself I will never dive or go in the water again. I have forgotten about those screams and never will. They haunt me in my dreams every night, but I don't tell anyone about them. I don't need any more of your crazy crap. My life has changed since that horrible encounter in that cave. I've become more realistic about the reality of hell, And as an atheist, I don't believe in God, but as a scuba diver, having heard those screams from nowhere in an underwater cave, screams that have left permanent marks on myself, health, and life, I must say I do believe in a hell. According to my religious doctrinaries, as well as the well to hell hoax, hell is located at the center of the earth. I firmly believe that to be true today. I have listened to the alleged Screams from Hell audio clip, and I can honestly say it's a phony. The real screams sound nothing like that. The real ones are worse, much worse, more horrifying than you could ever imagine. That audio recording is like Brahms' lullaby, trying to pass off for a heavy metal dull death. It's certainly not the same shrieking voices I heard in that cave. The real screaming is indescribable. You just can't imagine it. It's taken a lot of guts for me to finally write this part of my life after having been criticized and called a lunatic by so many people. Hell is real, and I wish it weren't. I don't know if there is any chance of escaping it, but I know it is there, at the center of the earth. I heard the screams. I know it's true. No one could tell me otherwise. I know it's for real. Thanks for reading my story.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.